There was this girl, Taylor, in my math class. She was a whore. What up? We're back. We're talking about my education. Or lack thereof. One of the two. I just need to say that the sun is not cooperating again today. Look at the glare. What the heck? I swear, if I turn this way and it gets worse, I'm going to be upset. Here we go. Stand by. Oh, looks pretty good. All right. So, my education consisted of, I was homeschooled for many years. Junior high, high school. I don't know. I felt it was pretty much a standard homeschool experience. I didn't really know what to expect out of it. I had a couple of friends, I mean, socially, that were homeschooled, and socially, I feel like they came out a little stunted. And you can probably all tell that I was homeschooled. I don't know, just by the way that I talk and stuff. Maybe it's just like you're sitting there cringing, like, oh, well, that explains so much about him. So I signed up, for college at the community college by my house, y'all. Of course, get accepted right away because I am just a scholar. I had to get my GED. I'm like, all right, bet. I had to go take it and stuff like that. And man, I don't know. I was freaking out about it because I'm like, man, like I know this is like a equivalency test for high school or whatever. I was thinking in my head like, well, this can't be that hard. So then I get to the testing center and they're like, yeah, a lot like 3 hours for your test. And I'm like, oh my goodness, what did I get myself into? And I'm like, I didn't study at all for this. So I start taking the test. I start, just clicking, and I'm blazing through it. And like first section done. And then the second section was like the math section. I don't know about all this. I struggled because I'm not good at math. And I'm like, oh crap, I don't know what this is. Scratch paper. Anyway, so I made it through the math section. Nailed that, knocked that out of the park. I feel like this is too easy. I'm like, am I just being overconfident or what's really happening here? And I click, and then all of a sudden the test says, okay, you finished. And I get up, and I am the first one up. And I'm like freaking out. I'm like, oh geez, like these people are taking a long time. What did I do wrong? I look like that douchebag. Done. Here you go, teach. Here's the paper. And there's no way in hell I want to retake the test. So I'm like, if I fail, I fail. I'm done. Barely passed the math section. Writing and like the science or whatever other one. I passed both of those with flying colors. So I passed the test. Fast forward. Now it's time to sign up for classes. And so I need to take some placement tests. So I go and I take these tests. And they were a lot harder than the GED test. I'm looking at some of the math and I'm like, oh my goodness, I know it sounds stupid, but I'm like really thinking to myself, like, I really hate that letters get mixed in with math, with the numbers. It's like advanced chemistry, it's advanced physics and physiology and all these other ologies. And I'm like, I can't do this. And I get my report back of like what classes I need to be placed in. And every single one of them is like a remedial class, except for like English. So I get my classes all picked out and I'm hating all of them. I am not feeling it. I remember my first day very vividly. I get lost right away. I get lost straight off the bat because what happened is there was a change at the, I got there and the doors said for English 100 or whatever, at this time, please go to this room. And I'm like, I don't even know where this is. This isn't even on the same level. Like this M34, room M34, I ain't seen an M before. I've seen a P and a C, but I ain't seen an M. So I get the map of the school out, and I'm flipping through it, and I'm like, okay, here it is. And it's like all the way on the other side of the building. I'm freaking out. I don't want to be late. I don't know how college is. I don't know if the teacher's gonna be like, well, since you were late, you're getting kicked out. I don't know anything. I'm not making any friends except for Dave. Well, I don't think I really consider Dave a friend. Dave was more an idea than anything else. Dave was a personification of a movement. Dave was very anti-abortion. I'm not saying I disagree with them. I'm just saying Dave was so anti-abortion, he would wear a jacket every single day. And I had 2 classes with this guy my first semester. He would wear a jacket every single day that said, hey, ask me about being anti-abortion. Like, find out more through me because I'm anti-abortion. And I'm like thinking to myself, man, that's a bold move. But here's the thing. Dave was also kind of a weirdo. See, Dave was one of those kids that has to answer every question, but every single time it was wrong. Was he just generally dumb? Like, I think that's a little mean to say. I just don't think you need to be answering every single question that the teacher throws up. 9 times out of 10, you're not even in the ballpark. I had to take college algebra twice. I failed the class because I didn't participate in things. There was another person in class. His name was Chris. I'm just dropping names. And Chris thought we were best friends in class. This isn't public speaking, mind. And we weren't. We weren't at all. We happened to sit next to each other. I didn't particularly like Chris. Chris was the kind of guy that made up everything about his life. Because everything in his life was suspicious. I just don't understand how you can lie to people so much and do you just not care if they catch on? Like, I guess it doesn't matter. Who knows? And we were assigned a project together. He was talking such big game. He's like, yeah, we're going to knock this project out of the park. It was a tag team presentation, public speaking type deal where, we would be we're assigned a product and we were supposed to be launching the product. Steve Jobs style kind of stuff. And I was like, all right, cool. So I wrote my half of it and then he was going to do his half of it. And we were supposed to present it together. And, I called him up, hey, do you want to practice this? You want to go over it? Do you want to just, compare notes or something like that just to see where we're at so we don't look like idiots up there? Oh, no, I've got the whole thing. So the day comes. Chris is looking at me. We're about to present. He's like, I didn't do it. I didn't do this project. I didn't have time this weekend. I'm like, oh, cool, great. So I'm a little perturbed. Because that's, I already knew this is how group projects go. Anyway, so did I get up there and present? You betcha I did. Did I throw Chris under the bus? 100%. You got it. I sure as heck did. I get up there and I'm presenting and I'm like, we got this new product. It's excellent. It's the pinnacle of technology. And now I'd like to turn the time over to Chris. But apparently Chris hasn't started on this project. And I said this in front of the whole class because he pissed me off. And I was like, Chris hasn't prepared for this project. And I was like, but I'd like to turn the time over to him anyway. And I went and I sat down. And he just stood there looking like an idiot. Maybe it was the wrong thing to do. Maybe I shouldn't have. I was like, nah, not happening. I was like, I don't know how this is going to get graded, but I want to make sure I get full marks for doing my part of it. Anyway, so he was upset with me. He didn't sit next to me after that. For the rest of the class, for the rest of the semester. So yeah, freaking college was weird, man. I really was never fully engaged in it. I was never really fully into it. I just was going through the motions. I had some really great instructors. I had some, really good times and stuff like that. But in the long run, I just couldn't see a future there. Ooh, Monster, please sponsor me. I don't really know how to describe my college experiences other than it's very haphazard. I went through the motions. I did it. I passed all of my classes. At one point, I had a 4.0. I'm not stupid. There was this girl. Her name was Taylor. And she was dead set on cheating on her husband. Always be talking out loud man, I really don't like my husband. And just clown on him. The entire time I ever was around her. And she always asking the boys in class, hey, do you want to go get coffee sometime? Do you want to hang out sometime? And all the other guys are like, no. She was hella trashy. And her personality sucked. Just all around not a good person. She's nasty. She was nasty. Nobody needed that in their life. So when I decided to leave for Alaska, I kind of scheduled my flight during the middle of finals week. I didn't take any of my finals for my last semester. I was like, I am so done I'm just done with Colorado. I'm done with this place. Like, I don't even care. I didn't care at all. I didn't have a single care. Did I learn things in high school or in college? Yeah, I did. But, like, all in all, I really don't think it was worth it for me because I had no idea what I was doing. I guess I could have found something that I was super passionate about, but life circumstances changed, and I was like, I'm dipping, boys and girls. I'm out of here. Don't you just love it when you see somebody's hand go up and you're just thinking, oh no, here we go. Oh no. Oh no. And it just becomes this monologue that has nothing to do with the subject being presented. It's always something along the lines of, well, as a mother, in my experience, I know that my toddler likes to chew on things and my dog sheds a lot of hair. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk today. And you're just sitting there like, what does that have to do with algebra? It doesn't. You're right, it doesn't. I need my monster. Oh, pick me. As a former United States infantryman, the sun is washing my face out. You can't see my complexion. When I was in Afghanistan, we had a lot of bugs. Yet again, what did that have to do with anything? Nothing! It doesn't have anything to do with anything. Just calm down. Stop trying to be heard. You're just like Abortion Dave, who just wanted to be heard. I swear, every time Abortion Dave would raise his hand, all the class would just go, because nothing good ever came out. I don't know what kind of what is that kid carrying? What's that kid's like catch a rabbit or something? Social ineptitude that these people had. This kid's carrying something weird and it looks alive. Did he kill a rabbit? What's going on here? What's the situation here? I have no idea what that is. I don't know. But he's making his friend carry his scooter. I don't know. I have a shade for you guys this week. Maybe I just don't do good in school because I get frustrated super easily and then I just abandon the project. I just abandon things. I hated dealing with people. I hated dealing with stupid people. It's like, I felt like I was surrounded by stupid people. I'm not saying I'm mentally superior. I'm just saying I know how to keep my mouth shut when I should. You know, I know how to ask an important question. I'm not saying there are stupid questions. I am going to say that. I will say there is such thing as a stupid question because I just feel like you need to be, if you're paying attention, you're taking the notes you're supposed to take, you know, I think you should be able to conjugate a question that would be meaningful for everybody. You know, sometimes, like in math class, sometimes I would see mysterious cryptic writing up on the board that I didn't understand. And I would look in my textbook and be like, oh, okay, that's what that means. Okay, that's cool. That's for that. You know, as I'm following along. And then sometimes the writing would get a little more cryptic and I could feel that I wasn't exactly grasping the situation at hand because I'm not good at math yet again. So I'm looking at it and I would raise my hand like, hey, yo, when did we go from this to this? But I know it wasn't a stupid question because a lot of people were like, yeah. And then the teacher was like, oh, yeah, that's on the page before this. Like, oh, we should have covered that. Let's cover that. Or something like along those lines would happen, you know, where it was, that's a good question. Not, oh, hey, so, when is the test going to be? Or is this going to be on the test? So just take your notes. Just do your stuff. Just be a student. You know when the test is going to be. You know generally what material is going to be on the test because the test will say from composing of chapters 1 through 5 or whatever. So just get all maybe I'm just being irrational. I don't think that I am because I'm a very rational person. But nonetheless, you know, school was, it was a different experience for me coming from the homeschool world.